Welcome to Starship TV's Bedtime Stories. The year was 2025. At the age of 60 years of age I woke up and without eating breakfast, as was my habit. I proceeded straight to the indoor plant nursery to spoon-feed my tomato plants. I then went for my daily barefoot walk. Down the street I noticed the local model train club was open to visitors. Entering the building, housing the large model trains set up, I quickly noticed the group of hobos cooking by a small campfire along the tracks. Approaching them, they invited me over and offered me a can of pork and beans. Not wanting to seem rude, I accepted the offer. The group was set to stow away that morning on the next departing rail car. They were heading to California. They invited me along. How could I refuse a free trip to California? Without hesitation, I boarded a rail car with the experienced group. Many days were spent stopping and switching trains. One morning I woke up and found the car empty. Figuring everyone left the car, I stepped out to find myself at a different train station. A rail worker saw me and told me that this train is heading to a town called Jamestown. The land was very barren. I figured I was somewhere in the southwest. Asking what time it was? He said it was 800 after 3000. I realized this fellow wasn't well, and went inside the station for some information as nobody found it odd that I just came out of a cargo car. Looking for a ticket booth and not finding one. I asked what town we were in. He said, "You're not from around here, are you?" I stated no. He said we were at Jersey Shore and that the next train is heading to Jamestown. I wandered back outside thinking about some pork and beans. The people were somehow different, but of a normal lot of travelers. The rail worker from earlier asked if I was boarding the train to Jamestown. I nodded and stepped aboard the passenger car. Arriving in Jamestown, I exited the train. Most stayed on board. As I walked about town, everyone seemed to be in some type of military uniforms. Someone who was also getting off the train asked if I was joining. I said, "You mean the army?" He said, "Of course." I said no. I was heading to California. He said, "California?" He said, "You want to go to the port?" Well, I wasn't really interested in going to California anymore, so I asked him, "How do I get back to Pittsburgh?" He said, "You're an odd one. If you want to go to Pittsburgh, you have to go to the port." He asked if I was okay. I said sure, but I have things to do back home. The quickest way back is what I'm looking to do. He said, "You've come this far, why don't you join me and enlist?" I said, "Enlist?" "Yes, there is a major offensive on the planet Mars and they need the support." Surprised by the statement. I said, "Mars?" He said, "Yes, they are making their final push into the interior of the planet." I walked away in total bewilderment and started walking across the street when a vehicle stopped and an officer said, "Where are your boots? We've been looking for you." The officer told me to get in. So I went with them onto the military base. Troops marching and training. They took me into an office and told me to get myself together. "We're heading to Mars in the morning." They walked me to a bedroom in the office building. They opened the closet to prepare what were apparently my uniforms. Putting them on, they fit perfectly. I told them I wasn't really interested in going to Mars. They laughed and said, "Do you really want to stay on Venus?" You're watching Starship TV Bedtime Stories. Be sure to join us next time. Until